Hello and welcome to episode 14 of The Road to Heaven's Ward. We are covering the Crystal Tower Raid side quest series, and this is one of the quests that is required to um, get into the DLC Heaven's Ward. If you don't complete the three primals that we fought during Realm Reborn in hard mode, if you don't complete this quest chain, eventually I think in patch 0.55, you'll get to a point where the game will prevent you from completing the main quest and will require you to do these two side quest chains. But anyway, we've already completed the primals on hard, and so this is the only one we have to do. And we are quickly coming to the end of the raid series. We just need to go back and speak with Rambros about the dark entity that we encountered at the end of the Syrcuse Tower raid that we covered last episode. So, without further ado, let's go back to St. Coinage and check in with the others. Okay, let us check back in, and we're probably going to be talking about the kidnapping of the two allies that we had previously, but let's continue. All this happened within the tower? God's preserve. Now, what he's talking about is we had the help of two like Allegan clones, a man and a woman, and they were kidnapped by the Dark Entity right after we defeated Emperor Zandi. For more on that, check out the previous episode. The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate. Of this I am certain. There exists myriad kinds of void sense. The more powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. 'Twould seem that Zandi sought to open a gate of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness entry into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. I shuddered to imagine what this Voidson is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we can't abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them? I will not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. Though Voidsend can enter our world, instances of men entering the void have never been documented. It pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friends are still alive. Damn it, I feel so helpless. No, I refuse to give up. We must save Doga and Unei. Those are the two elegant allies that we lost. We share the same eye, 'tis true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them to fulfill their mission, a mission whose burden they have borne for thousands of years. And besides, we cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Zandi's dark covenant is binding, our world is in danger. 'Tis our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass. Graha, ever since meeting Unei and Doga, you have not quite been yourself. Tell me true, is all well with your eye? I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father told me that the truth of our eye rests with Alag. The answer eludes me still, but one day I will find it. I am with Graha. However slim the odds, we must try to save Unei and Doga. Aye, and that bastard Nero as well, if only to make certain he won't make any more mischief. You have the right of it, though we have known but them briefly. Doga and Unei are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts in literature both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it may be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient. When dealing with the void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray, rest now while you can, for when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be no less than full strength. We'll save them yet, Lightbringer. Mark my words. That concludes the quest, the Syrcuse Towers. Now on to the next one. The World of Darkness. Ah, Lightbringer, it's good you are come. I have news. I have news you must be made aware of. Alas, none of it bodes well for us, nor for Unei, Doga, and Nero imprisoned in the Dark Realm. Think back upon our last foray into Syrcuse Tower, if you will. The calamity stirred the place from its long slumber and awoke Emperor Zandi. But you, Lightbringer, ensured that he was laid to rest permanently. Yet the Emperor had sealed a binding covenant with the terrible void scent known as the Cloud of Darkness. Even as Doga and Unei labored to annul this contract, the entity reached through a rift and dragged the pair of them and Nero out of our realm. Since that day, NOHA has devoted itself to rescuing Unei, Doga, and Nero from beyond the rift. Our research, however, has exposed a far more dire problem. The Crystal Tower still acts upon Emperor Zandi's orders and collects energy to open another void gate even as we speak. Indeed, the place high hums with energy. We have done all we can to stop the Imperial Edict, but to no avail. Just as the gate would open only for Unei and Doga, so too will the tower heed only those with the royal blood of Alag. 'Tis a most galling design, granted. This was not always so vexatious, according to the elegant tombstone Nero presented us. During the golden age of Alag, the royalty had some means of bestowing their blood upon others. If they hadn't such a technology, Ammon and his underlings could never have controlled the Crystal Tower. But we do not have either this art or any with royal blood. Every moment we waste, a vast rift through which the dark cloud can enter our realm threatens to open. Such a disaster cannot be allowed to come to pass. We must seal the Crystal Tower and annul Zandi's covenant with the Dark Realm. If only breaking the ladder would suffice. But then, what of the energy building up in the Crystal Tower? Without suppression, that power could discharge and cause a calamity like the one that destroyed Alag. In truth, we have more than just 3 lost compatriots to worry about. If we do not act, our very world will fall before the might of this threat. We know but one way out of this predicament. Rescue those who can control the tower from beyond the Dark Realm, and seal the rift shut after them. And mercifully, not all our news is quite so bleak. 'Tis true, we cannot stop the Void Gate from manifesting within the tower, but this can be to our benefit. We can use Syrcuse's power for our own purposes, and create a portal to carry us into the Dark Realm. We have heard this is possible from a man of the Thaumaturge's Guild, well versed in otherworldly matters. And with Master Garland working to create said portal, the final preparations are well underway. And here comes the man himself. Lightbringer, just the woman we need. Yes, our fellowship is indeed complete, and all parties privy to our strategy, and you, Master Garland, how are your endeavors? Quite well. The device is nearly ready, though attaching the damnable thing to Syrcuse Tower took every ounce of ingenuity the Ironworks has got, but it should produce the energy we need. With just a little more fine-tuning, we can open a rift. I'm here to request your presence at the tower. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge at the 8 Sentinels as guides. And do hurry, Lightbringer. I'm sure you wouldn't miss another chance to save the world, would you? Well, Sid certainly seems to have a firm hand on the helm. Shall we make our way to the Crystal Tower? Okay, here are Biggs and Wedge. Lightbringer, I'll bet you're here to watch us pry open a rift between worlds, huh? We're almost ready. Syrcuse Tower is full of engineers, scurrying around and making adjustments. We're dealing with a lot of power, and if a single coupling's off, well, boom. But it should be fine, really. Anyway, you best wait at the top. The chief's there overseeing the whole operation. My friends, you've arrived. I'm just waiting for my engineers to give the signal then. We'll see if we can open a gateway to another world. Is there something amiss, Graha? Ah, Emperor Zandi's throne. How the mighty have fallen, eh? Once it stood as a symbol of Alex's art and power, now it's nothing more than an empty chair. Just imagine if elegant civilization had lived on, and a just emperor still sat on that throne. How different would our history be? How much further would we have advanced? Unfortunately, there was no stopping Zandi and his ambition. There There were those who tried. Xandi's War of Dominion left no one unscathed. Unable to abide the horrors inflicted upon the people, warriors young and brave took up the sword against Alag. These men and women became as beacons of hope to those who had suffered, not unlike the warriors of light in our age. But all this merely hastened the destruction. Just as they moved towards Alag's heart for the kill, Xandi lashed out in anger and frustration, as trapped beasts are wont to do. In his desperation, Xandi's desired that a great rift opened to hasten the cloud of darkness coming. To this end, he commanded the sun's power held within Dalamud be emptied into Syrcuse Tower at once. The act bore terrible consequences. The tower only withstood the blast by flooding the land below with energy. Syrcuse was swallowed up by the very earth upon which it stood. The fourth umbral calamity. I'd learned of its cause from Unei and Doga. I had no idea that rebellion had incited Xandi to rashness, though. Your knowledge of Allegan history is astounding, Graha. Why, a man could study for 2 lifetimes and only learn half of what you know. Mayhap. 'Tis strange, though. I cannot seem to remember where I learned such things. Yes? Ah, Biggs. Are you ready? Ready and raring to open up that void gate, Chief. We reckon when this machine's up and running, she'll be able to float 5 airships the size of Agrius. So just give us the wood, and we'll start channeling energy into the tower. Good. Then let's get started. Our preparations are complete. Everyone, step away from the throne. All right. Let's see what this machine can do. Now, Biggs. A rift to the void, a rift to the world of darkness, as Unei called it. Splendid work, Master Garland. We can't break out the mead just yet, though the tough part is still ahead. We've broken into the dark room, but the gate's not all that stable. It won't stay open forever, and only a few can use it. I, for one, will remain here to ensure the void gate stays open. As will the Sons of St. Coinage. This rift is our sole path to salvation. If it closes, we are truly lost. Which leaves Lightbringer, my friend. There's a heavy burden I must task you, but there are none more able. Pray, lead the adventurers beyond the rift. I do not know what awaits you, save the cloud of darkness and our 3 comrades. But you must go, for the fate of our world now rests upon your shoulders. This is our only gambit, but I have every faith you will succeed. It will be no small feat to return after you have passed beyond the rift. Make certain you are prepared before leaving. Might I have a moment of your time, Lightbringer? There is a matter of import which must needs discuss ere you leave. Lightbringer, I wish to speak to you about my eye. As you're no doubt aware, 'tis a trait seen only among Allegan royalty. Long I have pondered why is my inheritance. The sanguine hue must have some bearing upon my destiny. This much Doga himself admitted. But what? In truth, the more I learn of the Crystal Tower, the less I am myself. Somehow, meeting those two clones has wrought great change in me. I am consumed with remembering something ancient but ever so important. And my father's words echo in my mind. The selfsame ones his father told him, the truth of our eye rests with Allag. Mayhap I wish to remember, and these words are related. Mayhap not, but I know I must learn the truth that history hides from me. I would see this journey, our journey, through to the very end with my own two eyes. So I implore you, allow me to join you beyond the rift. You have my thanks, my friend. Now, let us venture into the world of darkness to save our comrades and our realm. So, that's going to do it for this episode. From here on out, you're going to want to... From here on out, you're going to want to pay attention to the actions of Grahatia. While it's not going to be important in Heaven's Ward or the following DLC, it will be important in the third DLC, as it'll give us some insight to the storyline that you may not catch if you completely forget it. But anyway, we have unlocked the final chapter, final raid, part 3 of the Crystal Tower, and that is the World of Darkness. Next time we will cover the last part and complete the raid, which will bring an end to this side quest. By doing it, we'll get 100 tombstones of poetics, the same as I believe Castra Meridianum. The Praetorium I still believe gives us the most at 150, but I might be wrong on that. But anyway, thank you for watching, and join us next time when we complete part 3 of the Crystal Tower raid series, the World of Darkness. And I know this episode has been short, but to those who made it this far, thank you, take care, and we'll see you next time.